right, new lever action trigger from Timney, and it's called the Timney lever action trigger. Marketing geniuses, right? I mean, hey, it's obvious though. We're not confused about what it is. It's better than calling it the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trigger. Anyway, Timney lever action trigger, what do you need to know about it? Well, Timney's never made a lever action trigger, so that's kind of cool. Lever actions are hot, people are customizing them like this. This in its former life was a standard brand new Marlin 336, and now it's tactical, all tricked out. So this one is the black one, okay? And you get the trigger, you get the hammer, you swap out the whole deal. It's pretty easy to install, but there are some nuances to working on a lever gun. We have a video about the install of this trigger. So check out Gun Talk, Timney lever action trigger install. All right, so they say this trigger is a 3 to 3.5 pound trigger, and so we're gonna check that in just a second. But people are gonna ask, what about all these other lever guns? Like the Smith & Wesson 1854. It's very cool, it's a Marlin clone. But wait, the new Timney lever action trigger doesn't quite fit this. There's some fitment things. It's probably coming pretty soon, so you'll be okay with your cool tricked out lever guns that are coming out and they're all hot. But let's check what the trigger is on this, because they say it's 3 to 3.5. Hey look, a trigger gauge. All right, trigger gauge. We're gonna check this, then I'm gonna give you a little tip here. All right, 3 pound 1 ounce. Check it again. 3 pounds 6 ounces, and 3 pounds 14 ounces. Now this is interesting. That was the heaviest one, the last one. I feel like I wasn't squeezing this loop hard enough, because there is a loop safety, or a lever safety, I guess, on a lever gun. And if I reset this, you're gonna see, watch, I'm not gonna do all the way. Watch the trigger. Watch when I squeeze the loop all the way. It sets the trigger and it's ready to fire. So make sure you're squeezing that loop nice and hard when you want to shoot the gun. Just something that's a technique thing. So let's go downrange and let's take a look at another one, because this one's the black trigger, which is cool for that gun, but there is another gun that's the more traditional looking one here, okay? All right, Marlin 336. This is the same gun as that. And we took this and took it all apart and tricked it out to be the tactical gun. Now, because this is a more traditional looking gun, they have the silver or stainless trigger here, trigger and hammer. I think it looks really good. It's the same trigger, it's just a different color, it's an aesthetic thing. So let's just, this is very unloaded. Let's load a couple in here. And let's just shoot this one, see how it feels. I like that, that's fun. All right, so let's check what the trigger is on this one. Is it consistent? £3 pounds, 6 ounces. Wait a minute, I didn't reset it. That's cheating. 2 pounds, 7 ounces. I kind of had a squirrely position on the trigger. 2 pounds, 4 ounces. All right, this one might be a little bit lighter, but you know, just kind of checking out, feels really nice. The standard Marlin has about a 5 to 6 pound trigger when we kind of checked it. Not a bad trigger, but just a little bit heavier. So Timney, if you like a little bit lighter trigger on your lever gun, especially if you're gonna be trying to do some accuracy stuff, shooting offhand accuracy, or shooting longer range with a scoped rifle, probably a good option for you. But new from Timney, the Marlin trigger, lever action trigger from Timney. It's here now, it's easy to install, go get it. To see all of Gun Talk's content, go to guntalk.com, guntalktv.com, or sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter.